Hey folks, I'm Stephanie Fish with Norton Sports Health, and I'm excited to kick off the 2023 Norton Sports Health Training Program for the GE Appliances Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon. I'm your training program coordinator, and I want to first say thank you so much for continuing to choose Norton Sports Health as your training coach, whether you're training in person or virtually. Second, we have some awesome opportunities to help keep you on track during your mini and marathon training. Saturday morning group runs will be a great key in keeping yourself accountable for your long runs. And I'm also excited for all of the training program participants to check out the new Norton Sports Health Performance and Wellness Center this year, as you will see some of our Saturday morning runs will start and end at this location off Westport Road. This year, we are also adding a giveaway to our Saturday morning runs. All you need to do is attend all Saturday runs and check in via QR code when you arrive. And then throughout the training program, you will be entered in to win some amazing prizes. Monthly Facebook Live Tuesday Talks will give you some great information from special guests, such as Norton Sports Health physicians, court physical therapists, local notable runners, and more. This will also give you an opportunity to ask questions and get answers in real time. Tuesday evening hill, track, and yoga sessions will work on your speed, strength, and flexibility to get you ready for the big day on April 29th. There are so many great things happening for this training program. You might ask yourself, how do I stay informed? Well, let me tell you. Text alerts. Text alerts are a great way to stay informed. Sign up by texting Norton Run to 37492. You'll receive reminders on weekly run locations, a Map My Run link for the Saturday routes, and more. Next, the Facebook group. Find it at nortontrainingtips.com. This is a Facebook group, but it is also a public web page where you don't need to have a Facebook account to view it. This is also a great place to stay informed of weekly runs, routes, training tips, and motivation from your fellow trainees. Also, sign up for weekly emails from Norton Sports Health. So make sure you officially register for the training program at derbyfestivalmarathon.com so you'll receive weekly tips and info over our 15 weeks leading up to the race day. Training manual. If you're old school like me, you can always refer to the 2023 official training manual for all of the info. You're probably thinking right now, how do I get this amazing Norton Sports Health training manual and this fantastic tech shirt? Well, if you were one of the first 800 people to sign up for the training program, you get the shirt, which you can pick up at the official kickoff event on January 12th at the Kentucky Derby Museum. You will be able to pick up a printed copy of the 2023 Norton Sports Health training manual at the kickoff as well. I'll give you a little more details on the kickoff a bit later in the program, but in the meantime, let's have a few VIPs offer you some tips as you prepare for your training journey with Norton Sports Health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ryan Krupp, Executive Medical Director of Orthopedics and Director of Norton Sports Health. I'm ready for another great year of the Norton Sports Health Training Program for the GE Appliances Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon. Whether you're a beginner or veteran racer, this training program will help you reach your full potential. As one of the Louisville area's leading sports-related injury prevention and treatment programs, Norton Sports Health provides advanced care for athletes and active individuals of all ages, regardless of your fitness level. Our specialists have expertise in surgical and non-surgical treatments and rehabilitation for all types of sports-related injuries. In addition to caring for sports injuries, our specialists are involved in research to gain a better understanding of why athletes become injured. With a team that includes fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, non-surgical orthopedic specialists, neurologists, a sports psychologist, nutritionists, and athletic trainers, we are uniquely qualified to guide you in your journey to prepare for this race and those in the future. Good luck and good training.
Hi, I'm Marissa Fabish, a board-certified specialist in sports nutrition. I joined the Norton Sports Health team last year and am excited to work with all of the dedicated runners who are part of the Norton Sports Health Training Program as you prepare for the 2023 GE Appliances Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon. Let's dive right into it and discuss the breakdown of calories when you start to increase your endurance training or running. First, let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbs are our body's #1 fuel source. Therefore, we need to make sure we are getting more than enough of this macronutrient in our diet during our training weeks leading up to race day. Some examples of carbs are fruit juices, grains, potatoes, corn, peas, and veggies. Next, let's discuss protein. We want to have enough protein to help aid in the recovery process for all of your hard training. You should aim to have about 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. This is a serving roughly the size of your palm. Think of things like chicken breast or 3 eggs. We can't forget to talk about fats. We want to make sure we are still getting dietary fat, but always try to stay away from saturated and trans fats. You should aim to have more anti-inflammatory fats to help aid in inflammation and recovery during this time, such as fatty fish, nuts, seeds, and canola oil. Now let's discuss increasing your training. When we start to rev up our training with longer and more frequent runs and higher intensity, you will need to increase your overall energy intake. Think about it like a car. If we are using more gas in our tank and not filling up enough, we will eventually run out of gas. And if we start to underfuel, we are more likely to get injured. Be sure to increase calories during this time to help maintain performance. A little extra serving of carbs or protein can be a good start. Outside of food, hydration is another key to keeping training on track. Drink about 1/2 your body weight in fluid ounces a day. For every hour of exercise, you also want to increase hydration by 16 to 24 ounces. You want to also incorporate electrolytes into your hydration regimen. Electrolytes help retain water and therefore keep you hydrated. You sweat out electrolytes and need to be sure you are replacing them. Depending on the environment you are training in, you may need somewhere around 400 to 800 milligrams of sodium per hour of exercise. If you're running in a cold environment, you may need closer to the lower end. Take note when you are training if you are a heavy sweater or a salty sweater. If you are a heavy sweater, drink closer to that 24 fluid ounce per hour. For salty sweaters, increase electrolyte intake during exercise, closer to 800 milligrams per hour. Some great electrolyte options you could use during your run are Drip Drop, coconut water, sports drink like Powerade, pickle juice, and even Pedialyte. Some great electrolyte options to consume throughout the day include beef jerky, pretzels, and then adding salt to your food. Finally, let's chat about fueling your body during your run. If you're running less than 60 minutes, don't worry about loading up on carbs. If your run is longer than 60 minutes, then consider taking in some simple carbs. Glucose or fructose mix helps decrease GI distress and allows you to take in more carbs at a time. Here's a sample fueling plan for a 2-hour run. 30 minutes before your run, have a banana. 45 minutes in, have a Honey Stinger Energy Chew, which is about 40 grams of carbs. 1 hour and 45 minutes in, consume 2 applesauces, which is about 30 grams. Think about it. When you are running for a long period of time, you aren't getting energy, you're just using it. In order to maintain performance, taking in 30 to 45 grams of carbs per hour will help sustain performance. I look forward to seeing you all at our kickoff event on January 12th and throughout the Norton Sports Health Training Program. If you have any questions or if you're interested in diving deeper into your personal nutrition, set up a free initial consultation by emailing me or call the Norton Sports Health Performance and Wellness Center at 502-409-8888.
So my name's Robin Curry. I'm a sports medicine physician with Norton Orthopedic Specialist in St. Matthews. I'm also the co-medical director for the Kentucky Derby Festival Marathon and Mini Marathon. So we're excited again to be a part of the training program and to provide medical coverage on race day. Prior to starting the training program, then you should take a look at your overall general health. So there's some questions that you should maybe ask yourself before you start the program. Am I healthy enough to start? Am I healthy enough to start this program in general? Healthcare professionals used to always recommend that you see your healthcare provider, your primary care provider, before you started any sort of new exercise regimen. But the American College of Sports Medicine wanted to try to maybe eliminate some of the barriers to initiating exercise. So they actually helped develop some questions that you could maybe ask yourself before you started any sort of new exercise plan. So there's 3 questions. The first question is, how active am I? So are you exercising 30 minutes a day for 3 days a week for the last 3 months? So if you're already doing that and that's already part of your routine, it's probably safe to go ahead and continue on with our training program. But if you're more of a sedentary person, then you'd want to maybe go in and check with your primary care provider and get their okay before you start. The second question is, do you have any comorbidities or chronic medical conditions? So that would include heart disease, kidney disease, diabetes. If you have those conditions and you haven't seen your healthcare provider recently, then you want to go ahead and check in with them and make sure that they give you the okay. If you don't have those medical conditions, but you have some symptoms, then these symptoms would warrant an evaluation. So if you have any chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, dizziness, those things would be something that you'd want to look into and make sure that it's not a sign of some sort of underlying condition. And the last question is, how intense is the exercise that you want to participate in? So if you're going from being sedentary to wanting to run a full marathon or running a half marathon, then probably ought to go ahead and get your doctor's permission before you do that. If you're already somewhat active and you're just planning to walk, or you plan to walk run, then you're probably okay to move forward with that as well. So you can use these questions to help determine which path you should follow moving forward. So are you okay to go ahead and use the training program, or go ahead and check in with your doctor first before it's safe to do so? It's also a good time to maybe think about getting that yearly physical. So if you haven't had your physical in the last year, go ahead and do that now, get it kind of a tune-up. Also have them maybe check some lab work and make sure that everything checks out okay before you do this program. And lastly, I'll say if you have any orthopedic issues, so any sort of muscle pain, bone pain, joint pain that either you haven't had evaluated or that you haven't seen any improvement in despite maybe the treatment that you've received, then it's probably a good idea to go ahead and check in with either your primary care provider, or you can check in with one of us in the office, and we're happy to see you for that as well. So you can use these questions if you want to go to the American College of Sports Medicine's website. They have a questionnaire that's called a PAR-Q, or a physical activity readiness questionnaire, and it'll lay out all of these questions that I've already mentioned and help you decide which way you should move forward, whether it's okay to go ahead and start the program or whether you should check in with that primary care provider before doing so. So our goal is to get you from the beginning of the training program all the way to the finish line, and to do so in a healthy way. And so we wish you the best and hope for a really safe and healthy training season.
Hi, I'm Elliot Mattingly. I'm a physical therapist with Court Physical Therapy, and we are back again to participate in the Norton Sports Health Training Program for the GE Appliances Derby Festival, Mini Marathon, and Marathon. And we couldn't be more excited to get another year of training going. This is one of our favorite events because we get to really spend a lot of time with you as runners and help you get across the finish line. And you're going to hear me say that a few times because that's the ultimate goal for us in the Norton Sports Health Training Program and at Court Physical Therapy, because you, the runner, are putting your time and effort into this to achieve this really amazing goal, and we want to do what we can to help you be there. Now, what to expect from us at all the training runs, you're going to see a physical therapist, occupational therapists, and athletic trainers of all of these events, and we're going to lead you through some of our dynamic warm-up. We're going to be there for you to ask questions, and really, we're your resource to once again help you get across the finish line. And we're going to be easy to spot because you're going to see us in our nice green shirts. Unless it's really cold, then maybe we'll have a nice green hat for you too, so you can always find us and ask us those questions. Because we are so passionate about what we do to get you across the finish line, we want to make sure that it is very easy for you to come up to us, but there's a few different ways to do that. You can give us a call at 1-800-645-COURT. You can check us out at court.com, because people a lot of times wait until they're hurt until they figure out their problem and try to figure out how to keep running. But there are a lot of things you can do to prevent injury. So asking us different things about strengthening or different ways to change your gait patterns and all these, we would love to help you figure that out. Some of the treatments you might expect in a physical therapy evaluation, you're going to get running specific exercises, you're going to get some dry needling or gait analysis, really specific things to make you get back. And it's not going to be one fit for everybody. There's going to be things that you can do that's going to help you more specifically than somebody else. So when you need that, make sure you reach out early. We are there. We're going to try to get you in within 24 hours because we know that if you miss time during your Norton Sports Health Training Program, that it's tricky. That's time you can't get back. So we want to be as advantageous as possible of getting you back and keeping you running so we can get you at the finish line. So we'll see you soon.
Welcome to the GE Appliances Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon Training Program, brought to you by Norton Sports Health. Dr. Ryan Modlinski, I'm a sports medicine specialist at Norton Orthopedic Institute, and we're so glad to have you with us today as this is our annual kickoff to the Kentucky Derby Training Program. I want to give you a little bit of information about ourselves and what our services we can provide so we can make this an enjoyable experience for you in terms of your marathon experience and your half marathon experience going forward. We specialize in treating runners and athletes of all ages. So whether you're a novice or a professional and this is your 20th marathon, we certainly have the ways and tools to kind of help you get through this as symptom-free as possible. One of the more common things we see usually with a lot of our novice runners or even some more experienced runners is a condition called runner's knee. So how do we know if we have runner's knee, and what is runner's knee, and how do we differentiate it from something a little bit more seriously? Well, runner's knee is typically more that anterior naggy pain that you get in the front part of your knee, sometimes associated with some grinding or, as we say, crepitus, sometimes pain worse with squatting or kneeling, and may or may not be swollen. How do we differentiate that from something more significant? Well, sometimes, if the pain is increasing or if we're getting more significant, that's something that we can help and look at some of the big risk factors that kind of help contribute to runner's knee. Some of those things are kind of weak muscles around the hip, some of the tight musculature in your hamstrings or calf. Sometimes it can be some of your footwear or foot choices or running shoe choices. And sometimes it can be kind of how well you train leading up to the mini marathon program or how fast you accelerate during the program. Some of it can be things you do during your training program, including adequate titration or sort of moving up your training program appropriately based on how you're responding and how you're feeling. Dynamic warm-ups or sort of warm-up before you get out ready to run. And some of it can be making sure that you recover well and hydrate during this. Even though it's winter, you still need to make sure we adequately hydrate during the course of this running program. If you've had a previous injury in years past, that's a big risk factor. So we certainly want to get ahead with you and kind of get you in the office, talk to you, and kind of see if we can't figure out what other contributions are contributing to some of your other previous injuries, because that's a big risk factor for further injuries leading forward. So if you're having any problems with runner's knee or any other running problems or ailments that kind of bothering you, please feel free to reach out to us for an appointment with one of our sports medicine specialists, and we'd be more than happy to help you. So hope this helps get you started on the right track, and we look forward to seeing you out there during the training program, and good luck with your running.
Hi, I'm Chris Martini, race director for the 2023 GE Appliances Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon. This year marks the 50th running of the Mini Marathon and the 22nd running of our full marathon. We're so excited that you will be joining us to celebrate this milestone and annual tradition. The 2023 race will take place Saturday, April 29th. It kicks off at 7 a.m. from Louisville Slugger Field. Runners will finish the race at one of our newest landmarks, Lynn Family Stadium, home of Louisville City and Racing FC soccer clubs. This year's course will once again go through historic downtown Louisville and feature a lap inside of Churchill Downs and Colic Infield. For marathon runners, you also get to mark off 2 states on your list, as you'll travel across the Big 4 walking bridge to our neighboring southern Indiana and run along the paved Ohio River Greenway before coming back across the bridge and finishing in Kentucky at our finish line at Lynn Family Stadium. Norton Sports Health is back again as our official training partner, and they're ready to make sure that you're prepared for race day. The Norton Sports Health training team is here to help you, whether it's your first race or you're looking to set that PR. Be sure to join us at our kickoff event on Thursday, January 12th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Kentucky Derby Museum, where you can get all of your training needs and meet with all the key people. Good luck on your training, and I can't wait to see all of you crossing the finish line in April.
Hi there, my name is Dr. Jeff Stevenson with Norton Sports Health. Happy to be a part of the KDF Mini Marathon training program through Norton Sports Health again this year. Was given a few minutes just to talk about some of our running overuse injuries. It's always something we struggle with and deal with as we go through the training. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what to look for and some of the most common injuries. First off, we talk primarily about bone injury. We're putting a lot of stress on our bones as we're running, especially our lower extremities. Some of our common injuries involve stress fractures or even their precursor, which is a stress reaction. So that really is inflammation in the bone. And if we get enough inflammation in the bone, then that bone can weaken to the point that we have these fractures that occur. Some of the most common areas where we see these stress fractures are the metatarsal bones, which are the main foot bones in the middle of the foot. We see it at the knee level with our tibia bone, as well as the tibia at the tibia plateau, and then we see it in the actual bone of the shin, which is the tibia. So pay attention to areas like that where you may have pain. Some of the things that we look for are focal soreness and tenderness. It hurts when I push on a specific spot along the bone itself. If it's something that we have pain there, and this pain is not only when we're working out, running, but also when we start to walk and we have pain outside of exercise, it's definitely more concerning, and it may be time to consult myself or one of our other physicians regarding this pain that you're feeling with training. One thing that we really think about, if the pain is worsening the more and more that you run, and it gets to a point that you have to stop running because of the pain that you're feeling in a specific area in our lower extremity, definitely something that we want to pay attention to. Some other areas of injury involve some of the soft tissues of our lower extremities, and that involves tendinitis, or a condition called tendinosis, which is degenerative changes to the tendons around our joints. Some of the most common areas, of course, are the Achilles tendon, which is the big tendon in the back of your heel that comes from the calf muscle and attaches at the base of the foot. We also see this in another tendon in the foot on the outside of the foot and ankle called the peroneal tendon. And then we see tendinitis or degenerative changes around the knee at the patella tendon or the quadricep tendon. And then one other one that we think about too is the IT band. We can have problems with the IT band, which is another soft tissue connective structure that runs from the hip all the way down to the outside of the knee. Once again, warning signs involve pain when we start up our activity. A lot of times they can get a little better as we're training and as we're being active, but then once we stop, they get really, really painful and can lead to pain with walking. So once again, pain is a big indication here. If you're continuing to have pain with exercise, but also it worsens afterwards, after you stop, it definitely is something that we want to pay attention to. General treatment involves resting, ice, sometimes anti-inflammatories can be used, so some of the over-the-counters like ibuprofen or Aleve can be used in the short term. If pain persists and it's not improving and it really starts to limit your ability to be active, once again, that's a reason that we want to seek medical attention. In summary, we can all have aches and pains when we're running and training and doing new things as far as our activity goes. As we build and build and build, our goal is to do that gradually with our correct progression. Sometimes it's too much for the body and we have to take rest periods. If it's something that really starts to limit your function throughout the day, or you start to have pain outside of exercise, I would contact one of our sports health physicians and see if we can get you treated so we can get you back and not miss too much time or have too much of a worsening problem. So thanks so much. You guys enjoy the training, and let us know if you need us.
Thank you all so much for all of that great information, and I hope to see everyone at the official kickoff on January 12th. Please plan to arrive at the Kentucky Derby Museum anytime between 5:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. to pick up your training manual, training shirt, if you were one of the first 800 people to sign up for the program this year. And also you can chat with some very important guests there at the kickoff. Our Norton Sports Health physicians will be there, as well as court physical therapists, our on-staff sports nutritionist, swag sport shoes, and more. They can answer all of your questions before you get started on the road to the race. Thank you so much for your continued support of the Norton Sports Health Training Program for the GE Appliances Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon. I look forward to seeing you all at the kickoff, and also on Saturday, January 14th, for our very first training run of 2023.